you think a controversial draft plus 67% in polls plus a broken defense are the recipe for disaster? This is serious, while celebrating free agency signings. Did you know the GM might burn the 10th pick on an edge rusher with plummeting stats? Yes, the same one nobody wants. And on top of that, the defense is still an Achilles heel, with a sack leader who doesn't even scare a rookie. The solution? An all-pro monster is on the market. But if they don't act now, Detroit or Green Bay will steal him. If they repeat the mistakes of 2018, this will be another eternal winter. Would you trust a rookie QB without trenches? Click like, subscribe, and rush to the comments. This decision might keep you up at night. Did they tell you they're breaking the NFL this offseason? Because the numbers don't lie, and I've got something that will electrify you. The National SB Nation Reacts poll just revealed that 30% of FL fans think the Bears had the best free agency period. Can you imagine 30% more than any other team? And here, in our house, 67% of you gave them an A and 30% AB. Translation? Pure faith. But I ask you, what good are high grades on paper if they don't translate to wins? Let me remind you that in 2018, we were also off-season winners, and look how that ended. And in 2020, we signed Robert Quinn for $70 million and never even made the playoffs. But this is different. Ben Johnson, our new coach, not only brings fresh air, he's shaking the trenches. Dangerous Swift running support, Matt Hennessy, bolstering the offensive line, and Jadeveon Clowney returning like a titan to crush quarterbacks. Plus, Gerald Everett and Cole Kmet are going to be nightmares for defenses. Now, where's the but? I'll tell you. The NFL is a business of results, not surveys. Caleb Williams, the new franchise guy, has to prove he's not another Mitch Trubisky. And the offensive line? They sign reinforcements, but can they hold up against guys like Aden Hutchinson or TJ Watt? Paper can hold anything, but the field is another war. And here's my hot take. If Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson don't lead this to at least 10 wins, this will be another historic failure. They have everything: fan support, resources, and a draft with premium picks. Nitrogen monoxide excuses. What do you think? Will this revamped offense and a hungry defense be enough to dominate the NFC North? Or are we repeating the same mistakes as before with new names? The most controversial draft decision for the Bears. Is Ryan Poles about to make a historic mistake? I've got news that's going to shake up your afternoon, Chicago Bears fans. Imagine this. Ryan Poles, with the 10th pick in the 2025 draft, has the power to build a championship team after an almost perfect offseason. But are they going to waste that opportunity by selecting an edge rusher who reeks of trouble? I'm talking about James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee. Let me explain. WH could be a disaster. What's up with James Pierce Jr.? Here are some numbers for you. 7.5 sacks in 2024. Impressive? Absolutely not. It's a free fall from the 10 sacks in 2023. And now you think he's first-round material. I'm telling you this. A player who doesn't exceed their own expectations is a red flag. Has Ryan Poles learned nothing from past signings? But the problem isn't just the numbers. It's his attitude. Rumors of misconduct, lack of professionalism, and a technical ceiling that's frightening. Mo Moulton from Bleacher Report called him a high-risk gamble. And you know what? I agree. Why gamble on an uncertain project when this team needs immediate impact? The safe options. That's where the real game is. Look around. Will Campbell, LSU, Armin Membu, Missouri, or even Ashton Jeanty, RB. Even a Tay like Tyler Warren from Penn State. These are players with fewer doubts and more projection. Ryan Poles fixed the offensive line, but what about the defense? But wait, what did Brad Biggs say? That Campbell is the pick in his mock draft. And you know what? I agree. An elite left. Tackle protects Caleb Williams for the next decade. Prioritize the sniper, not the gun with a jam trigger. Why is this year different? The Bears can't afford to mess up. After signing the most sought-after coach and building a playoff-ready roster, would they risk it all for a questionable edge rusher? I ask you, fans, do you prefer Pierce with his explosiveness but character doubts, or a player like Campbell who builds trenches? My final verdict, Poles must play IT safe. James Pierce Jr. is a time bomb in a draft where a mistake costs more than a year. Imagine this, Pierce in disciplinary trouble by October, while Campbell shields Williams. Is it worth it? I think not. And now I ask you, what would you do with the 10th pick? Would you gamble on a high-risk edge rusher? Or build the trenches with a star tackle? Is Chicago about to make the costliest mistake of the season? Did you hear what's happening with Trey Hendrickson? The man has 17.5 sacks in each of the last 2 seasons. And the Bengals have him there, like a broken toy. Are you going to tell me he doesn't deserve a mega contract after those numbers? I'm telling you this. If Cincinnati doesn't want to pay him, let him go. But watch out, because here comes the bomb. What if the Bears make a move? Look, Chicago already brought in Jonah Jackson and Joe Thuney to protect Caleb Williams. But what about the defense? Montez Sweat is great, but do you know how many sacks he had in 2024? 5.5? 5.5? And he's our leader. Can you imagine Sweat and Hendrickson together? It would be like putting nitrous in a Lamborghini. Opposing offensive lines would tremble. But here's the problem. Hendrickson won't play without a contract. Do you understand what that means? He could miss entire seasons. And the Bengals? They say they're open to trades. But where are the offers? Jeremy Fowler from ESPN said it clearly. If there's no deal, he's sitting out. And I ask, is Ryan Poles listening to this? Chicago has the capital. With Deo Odeyingbo and Grady Jarrett, the line improves. But Hendrickson is the quality jump. He alone has more sacks than all our defensive players combined. Are you going to let a 29-year-old All-Pro slip to Green Bay or Detroit? That would be a crime. Now, the uncomfortable question, does Caleb Williams deserve a top defense to avoid ending up like Justin Fields? Of course he does. But without pressure on the quarterback, not even Tom Brady would win rings. Does Ryan Poles want to risk another failure? I don't. If Hendrickson asks for $25 million a year, pay him. Or would you rather watch Jordan Love or Jared Goff destroy us again? And watch the details. Hendrickson has 36. Quarterback hits in 2024. 36. That's more than Aiden Hutchinson and Micah Parsons. And there are still doubts? I'm telling you this, if the Bears don't pursue him, someone else will, and will regret it, my opinion. Make the deal now. Denver, Atlanta, and Jacksonville are hungry. Chicago can't just sit and watch. Even if it means giving up a second-round draft pick, this guy is worth more than a rookie gamble. And now, a question for you. Should the Bears sell the farm for Trey Hendrickson, or is it too risky to bet on a 29-year-old veteran? Welcome, Bears family. The news is hot, and we need your opinion to put it all together. First, do you think this revamped defense and reinforced defense are enough to conquer the NFC North? Or are we still making the same mistakes with new faces? Make it clear in the comments. Now, the dilemma of the 10th draft pick. Gamble on an explosive edge rusher or guarantee the trenches with an elite tackle. This debate could define the season, so what would you do in the war room? And the hot topic, should the Bears give up key resources for Trey Hendrickson? Or is it a huge risk to bet on a 29-year-old veteran with so much youth on the roster? I want to read your theories and strategies. If you want to be part of this community that breathes football 24/7, subscribe now. Here, we're not just fans. We're a tribe that analyzes, debates, and vibes with every move of the team. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Together, we build the most authentic content. Ready to leave your mark on the upcoming season? Comment, share, and hop on this train. Because here, every voice counts. See you next time, Bears Nation. Sound effect of a high five at the end.